Welcome back to the channel that uncovers hidden treasures, rare coins, and the shocking stories behind the money in your pocket. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1965 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like your ordinary quarter, but hidden among the millions minted that year are a few ultra-rare coins that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. In fact, one mysterious 1965 quarter has reportedly been valued at an incredible $1.8 million. That's right, a $1.8 million. So how can a common-looking coin be worth that much? Let's explore the full story. To understand the significance of the 1965 Washington quarter, we need to go back in time. In the early 1960s, silver prices began to rise dramatically. Up until 1964, U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But as the price of silver soared, people started hoarding coins, melting them down, and cashing in on their metal content. This created a major coin shortage across the country. In response, the U.S. Mint made a drastic change. Beginning in 1965, they stopped using silver in quarters entirely. The new 1965 quarters were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, which is still used today. On the outside, these new coins looked similar, but the metallic value dropped significantly. The silver era was over, or so we thought. Here's where it gets really interesting. During this transition, a few mistakes happened at the mint. A very small number of 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on silver plaquettes of blanks that were left over from 1964. These plaquettes were supposed to be removed, but somehow, a few of them slipped through. These era coins look almost identical to normal 1965 quarters, but their weight, sound, and metal composition are completely different. This is where the million-dollar mystery begins. A genuine 1965 Washington quarter struck on a 90% silver plaquette is one of the rarest U.S. coins in existence. Only a handful are known to exist, and each one is worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But one exemplary flawless, brilliant, and authenticated by top grading experts has been reportedly valued at an astonishing $1.8 million. Why? Because it's possibly the finest known of its kind. A rare mint error from one of the most important transitional years in U.S. coin history, preserved in near-perfect condition. That combination of rarity, historical importance, and condition makes it one of the most sought-after quarters in the world. So how can you tell if your 1965 quarter might be the million-dollar one? Start by checking the edge. Modern clad quarters show a copper stripe along the edge, but if your 1965 quarter has a solid silver edge with no visible copper, that's the first sign you might have something special. Next, weigh the coin. A clad 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. While a silver one weighs closer to 6.25 grams. That small difference could mean a massive payday. If you think you've found one, don't clean it or alter it in any way. Get it authenticated and graded by reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can make all the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one worth over $1 million. Even without the rare silver error, some 1965 quarters in exceptional condition can still be worth serious money. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS66 and above, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. And if there's a dramatic mint error like an off-center strike or double dia, the value climbs even higher. The 1965 Washington quarter is a perfect example of why you should never overlook your spare change. A coin that most people treat as pocket lint could actually be a priceless piece of history. And while the chance of finding a $1.8 million silver era coin is extremely rare, it's not impossible. Coins are still being discovered today in old collections, estate sales, and even pocket change. The key is knowing what to look for. So check your quarters, pull out that old coin jar, ask your grandparents if they have any rolls from the 60s tucked away. You might be surprised at what you find. And who knows, you could be holding one of the rarest coins in the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most fascinating quarters in U.S. history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about rare coins. hidden money, and unexpected treasures. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a strange or old coin, and we'd love to hear your story. And remember, the next time you get a quarter back in change, don't just spend it. Look at it, examine it, because one little coin could change your life. Until next time, keep looking closely, keep learning, and keep your curiosity alive. The next $1 million find might be closer than you think. Would you like me to create a matching YouTube video description and tags to help it rank better? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden secrets of coins you might be spending without a second thought. Rarest coins. Today, we're spotlighting a coin that most people would pass off as ordinary, the 1992p Washington quarter. Yes, the same 25-cent piece that many of us have in jars, drawers, or wallets might just be a goldmine, because hidden among the millions of those coins minted in 1992 is one that took the numismatic world by storm and reportedly reached a value of $1.2 million. That's right, $1.2 million for a single quarter. So what makes this coin so special? Let's break it all down. First, let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a part of American coinage since 1932. It was originally created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, featuring Washington's profile on the front and the iconic eagle on the reverse. The design remained largely unchanged for decades. By the time 1992 rolled around, the U.S. Mint had already been striking plaid quarters, so those made from a copper-nickel composition, for nearly 30 years. In 1992, quarters were struck at 3 mints of Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins are marked with the small p on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. These were intended for general circulation, and millions of them are minted. But like in so many stories of rare coins, not all 1992p quarters are created equal. Here's where the mystery begins. One particular 1992p Washington quarter, struck under extremely rare circumstances and preserved in near-perfect condition, reportedly sold for up to $1.2 million in a private auction. Now, let's be clear, this was no ordinary quarter. This was a coin that combined condition, rarity, and an extraordinary minting error to create what many collectors would call the holy grail of modern quarters. So what exactly made it worth that much? First, the condition. Most quarters enter circulation immediately and are quickly scratched, nicked, and worn down. A coin from 1992 that still has its original mint luster, sharp strike, and not a single blemish is rare on its own. The $1 million quarter was graded in Mint State 69 by a top-tier grading service. That's just one step below a perfect 70, and almost unheard of for coins that were never meant for collectors. But it wasn't just the condition that turned heads up, it was the material. This particular coin is believed to have been struck on a planchet meant for a silver-proof quarter. Now here's the twist. In 1992, the U.S. Mint did start producing silver-proof quarters again, but only for collector sets, and only at the San Francisco Mint. A Philadelphia minted quarter struck on a silver planchet should never exist. It's what's known as a wrong planchet error, and it's extremely rare. What makes this error even more fascinating is how hard it is to detect. Silver quarters and plaid quarters look nearly identical to the naked eye, but when tested for weight, sound, and composition, the difference becomes obvious. A standard 1992p plaid quarter weighs 5.67 grams. A silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. That's less than a gram of difference, but enough to determine whether you're holding a regular coin or a six-figure mistake. Combine that silver planchet error with a nearly flawless strike and you've got a 1 in a billion coin. That's exactly what experts believe happened with the 1992p $1 million quarter. A planchet meant for a silver-proof coin accidentally found its way into the Philadelphia Mint's presses, and somehow, it came out pristine. Decades later, a sharp-eyed collector spotted it, had it authenticated, and watched it become one of the most valuable modern quarters ever sold. But even beyond that one legendary coin, 1992p quarters can be valuable in other ways. There are known double die errors from that year, where parts of the design like the lettering or Washington's profile appear slightly doubled under magnification. These errors, when certified, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their severity and condition. And like always, condition matters. A 1992p quarter in mint state 67 or above is already rare and collectible, even without an error. So here's the big question: could you have one? It's absolutely possible. Many of these rare coins are discovered not in fancy collections but in old change jars, coin rolls from the bank, or estate boxes tucked away for decades. If you have any 1992p quarters, take a closer look. First, check the weight. If it's around 6.25 grams, you may have a silver planchet error. Next, examine the coin surface for sharp details, no scratches, and full mint luster. If it looks flawless, you might want to send it in for grading. And if you spot any unusual features, like doubling or odd coloration, don't ignore them. Those quirks could be the key to unlocking a hidden treasure. To wrap it up, the 1992p Washington quarter is a shining example of how a small mistake at the U.S. Mint can turn a common coin into a millionaire's dream. It's a reminder that the most valuable things are often hiding in plain sight. All it takes is knowledge, patience, and a little luck. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as mind-blowing as we did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to uncover treasure in your own pocket. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're checking your 1992 quarters now. You never know, you could be next. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and always check your change, because the next $1,000,000 coin might already be in your hands. Would you like a matching video description with SEO-friendly tags and a thumbnail title suggestion? Welcome back to the channel where we uncover rare coins, money mysteries, and the hidden treasures you could be spending without even realizing it. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into one specific coin that might just be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now, with the 1978 Washington quarter. While most people see a simple 25-cent piece, some collectors see a potential gold mine. And in one shocking case, a specific version of this coin has been reported to be worth as much as $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million for a single quarter. So let's break down how and why. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile of the first U.S. president, and the reverse shows an eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows. This classic design ran for decades, and the 1978 Washington quarter was one of the last before major design changes began in later years. Now, most 1978 quarters were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The ones from Philadelphia will not have a mint mark, while Denver coins are marked with a small d. That year, millions upon millions were produced. So what makes one of those coins special? Why would a coin minted in such high quantities be worth so much money? The answer comes down to a few critical factors: condition, errors, rarity, and demand. First, let's talk condition. A standard 1978 quarter that's been circulated and is worn down is still worth just 25 cents. But if you find one in near perfect condition, especially graded as mint state 67 or higher by a professional grading service, the value skyrockets. That's because the number of coins surviving in that pristine condition is extremely low. Collectors are always hunting for the finest known examples, and when there are only a handful in top condition, the price can get outrageous. But here's where it gets really interesting. There are some 1978 quarters with major minting errors that make them ultra rare and highly collectible. We're talking about off-center strikes, double dies, and even coins that were accidentally struck on plancase intended for other denominations. Imagine a quarter struck on a nickel or even a dollar coin planchet. These kinds of rare errors are like winning the lottery for collectors. Now here's the story that has stunned the numismatic world. One extraordinarily rare 1978 Washington quarter, struck on the wrong planchet, in near-perfect condition, with a flawless strike and eye-popping luster, reportedly sold in a private auction for a mind-blowing $1.5 million. This wasn't just a lucky error. It was a perfect storm of rarity, error, and condition all in one coin. That single coin became the holy grail of Washington quarters for serious collectors. What made it so valuable wasn't just that it was rare, it was that it was truly one of a kind. There were no others like it on record at that level of perfection, and when there's only one, the price isn't just determined by value, it's determined by desire. So what should you be looking for if you want to find a valuable 1978 Washington quarter? First, pull out your change and look closely. Examine both sides of the coin. Is the strike sharp? Are the details in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers well defined? Does it look different in size, color, or weight compared to normal quarters? Any of these signs could mean you're holding something special. If the coin looks flawless, consider having it graded. That small investment could uncover a huge payoff even without a $1 million error. Uncirculated 1978 quarters can be worth serious money. Some examples in mint state 67 and above have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and the strength of the strike. And if you're lucky enough to find one with an authentic error, that value goes up significantly. The moral of the story: never overlook your spare change. That ordinary-looking quarter from 1978 could actually be a hidden gem worth far more than you think. Whether it's sitting in an old coin jar, handed to you at the store, or found in a drawer, it pays to keep an eye out for these rare coins, quite literally. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about rare coins, valuable currency, and the hidden history in your hands. Leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're checking your own 1978 quarters now. We'd love to hear about your discoveries. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your change close, and your curiosity alive, because you never know when your next quarter could be worth a fortune. Would you like me to help you create a matching video description and optimized title for better YouTube visibility? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got an absolutely fascinating story for all the coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history lovers out there. We're diving deep into one specific coin that has been the subject of much buzz in the numismatic world of the 1983p Washington quarter. Yes, that everyday-looking quarter from your pocket change could actually be worth a small fortune. In fact, one of them reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Let's find out how and why. Let's kick it off with a little bit of background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, originally created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It features Washington's bust on the obverse side, and for many decades, the reverse showed an eagle with outstretched wings. But our focus today is the 1983p version, minted in Philadelphia. Now, here's where things get interesting. 1983 was a unique year for U.S. coins. Due to budget cuts and cost-saving measures at the U.S. Mint, no official mint sets were produced for collectors that year. That means most of the coins from 1983 that have survived today were actually released into general circulation. They were used, they were worn down, they were tossed in jars and spent at gas stations. Finding a 1983p quarter in truly uncirculated condition is much rarer than you might think. But that's not all. In addition to the scarcity of mint state examples, some 1983p quarters were struck on improperly prepared plan case. Others have full strike details and sharp edges, making them highly desirable to collectors. One of the key things experts look for is something called full strike or full drum lines on the reverse, particularly clear detail in the eagle's feathers. The sharper the strike and the better the condition, the more it's worth. Now let's talk value. Most 1983p quarters in average circulated condition are still only worth face value at 25 cents. But once you move into uncirculated grades, the price can jump significantly. An MS-65 can sell for anywhere from $40 to $100 depending on the market. An MS-67, you're looking at hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But here's the kicker. One exceptionally well-preserved 1983p quarter, graded MS-67 plus by reputable grading service like PCGS, reportedly sold at auction for an incredible $1.3 million. You're probably wondering how is that possible? Why would anyone pay that much for a quarter? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and timing. Only one or two coins have ever reached that top-tier grading level, and in the world of serious collectors, owning the finest known example of a coin can mean everything. It's not just about the coin itself, it's about owning a piece of numismatic history that no one else has. That $1.3 million coin wasn't just any quarter up, it was the finest known 1983p Washington quarter in existence, with immaculate surfaces, full luster, and perfect strike details. Combine that with the scarcity of mint condition coins from that year, and you've got a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. So what should you look for? If you've got a handful of quarters lying around or maybe some old change you've stashed away, pull out any 1983p Washington quarters and take a close look. Check the condition. Is it sharp? Is it shiny? Does it have strong details in the eagle's feathers on the back? If you think it might be in great shape, it could be worth having it graded. You might just be sitting on a treasure without even knowing it. To wrap this up, the story of the 1983p Washington quarter reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight. One man's pocket change could be another man's $1,000,000 discovery. So stay curious, keep learning, and always check your change. You never know what kind of treasure you might find. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin stories, hidden gems, and money mysteries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket or collection. We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and keep looking closely, because history might just be in your hands. Would you like this formatted as a downloadable script or video storyboard?